In today's video, we are going to be discussing The Big Bang Theory, Season 1, Episode 5, The Hamburger Postulate. So it is given this title because we see Sheldon trying out a new hamburger in this episode, which for him is kind of a big deal. So we start the episode off with Leonard, Sheldon, Raj, and Howard eating at the Cheesecake Factory. This is their first visit to the Cheesecake Factory. This is important because this is where Penny works, and she is their waitress at the moment. Sheldon's not happy to be there because this is not his usual restaurant, and so he doesn't know what to order, but eventually decides to order a barbecue burger from the recommendation from Penny, saying that it's similar to the Big Boy burger, which is his normal burger. We next get the second appearance in the show by Leslie Winkle. She's come to ask Leonard for a favor. Their string quartet for the department needs a fill-in, and she asks Leonard if he'd mind helping out, which he agrees to. Notably, Penny inquires here if there's something going on with Leonard and Leslie, and says that she thinks that they would make a cute couple. Next we see Leonard and Leslie rehearsing with the rest of the string quartet group. Leslie starts to drop some not so subtle hints that she's attracted to Leonard, and after the rest of the group leaves, she basically outright says that she is open to a physical relationship. Leonard's a little surprised because she wasn't interested in him before, but she said she changed her mind when she saw how he handles his instrument. A little bit of a double entendre there. So Leonard and Leslie head back to his room, and as a signal to Sheldon not to open the door, Leonard puts a tie on the door. Now, this is a little odd because I guess it's just to signal him not to open the door because they don't share a room or anything. They both have their own separate rooms in the apartment. But this just ends up confusing Sheldon. He's not familiar with this practice, so when he sees it, he goes and asks Penny for help. She comes over and explains to him what it means. She's a little surprised that he doesn't know, saying, "Haven't you been in college?" And Sheldon notes that he's still a kid when he went to college. As Penny's talking to Sheldon, we also see something interesting here. We see that she shows perhaps a hint of a little bit of jealousy as she's discussing Leonard being back in his room with a woman. So Sheldon, not being completely sure what to do in the situation, calls Leonard to tell him that he saw his message and gives his best to Leslie. Then he camps out on the couch, and it's odd. I guess he's so confused. He ends up sleeping the entire night out on the couch and never just goes back to his own bedroom. When he wakes in the morning, he's shocked and appalled to find out that someone has messed with his equation on his whiteboard. It comes to find out that it was Leslie, and even though she fixed the problem, he's just mad that someone had the audacity to try to correct his work. This is something we see a couple times with Sheldon in his work, in that he'd rather be wrong than let someone else fix a problem that he was having trouble with. This also shows the start of an ongoing rivalry between Sheldon and Leslie. On their way out to work, Leonard bumps into Penny, and she hints that she knows what happened between him and Leslie last night and says she's happy for him. This kind of confuses Leonard more. When he gets to work, he goes up to Leslie and tries to show some affection, to which she's confused, and basically told him that she's still not looking for a relationship. This was just all about the physical part, and she's good to go for a while now. So they kind of established that this may happen again, but it's not really going to be a regular thing between the two of them. So we close the episode back at the Cheesecake Factory. Leonard and Sheldon are eating dinner there again, and we get a little bit more discussion about the hamburger situation. Sheldon notes that he very much does like the Cheesecake Factory burger, and so he's going to make it his new Tuesday night burger, move Bob's Big Boy to Thursday night, and get rid of the soup plantation. This is important only because it continues to build upon Sheldon's kind of obsessive behavior in that he likes to have a very regimented, steady meal schedule. Penny comes by the table and asks how things are going between Leonard and Leslie, and Leonard notes that he doesn't think anything is going to be moving forward there. Penny basically says that's a shame, but she's sure that there's someone out there for Leonard, and kind of gives a smile as she walks away from the table after hearing this news. Leonard's confused by her comments and tries to ask Sheldon for advice, but he's still just worried about his hamburger. And that is Season 1, Episode 5 of The Big Bang Theory, The Hamburger Postulate. So the main takeaway we see from this episode is that the growing relationship between Leonard and Penny is not so one-sided as it may have seemed. There are a few points in the episode to indicate this with Penny. First one would be where she's taking their order in the beginning and she inquires about the status of the relationship between Leonard and Leslie. This is just establishing that she cares. Second would be that she shows disappointment when she finds out that Leonard and Leslie are together. And the final one would be at the end of the episode where Penny smiles when she finds out that Leonard and Leslie are not going to be moving forward in a relationship. So this shows an interesting development. We've known the whole time so far from episode 1 till now that Leonard is very interested in pursuing Penny, but now we're starting to see that she does perhaps have some feelings of her own. Something I really like from this episode is actually the opening scene where they're at the Cheesecake Factory. The discussion they're having in the beginning is about various characters having a fictional battle. I just find these type of discussions very fun. This is actually something that drew me into watching this show when I first got around to giving it a chance. Just because these are the type of discussions that me and my friends would have while sitting at a restaurant. My rating for this episode would be a 7 out of 10. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share with others. And keep an eye out for the next video coming soon.